custom live streaming service. Go ahead, Ash.
All right, this is a test run for the Matt Laymen Materials Exchange lunch hour that we'll be doing every Thursday at noon Central Time, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with Matt Laymen from Layman's Lumber Guide. Matt, how are you?
Good, good to be here.
Good. So I just wanted to start this by saying any opinions or ideas or discussed on this program or not. Anything that Materials Exchange is endorsing or advocating, everything is just here for the user's experience and information to do with it what they want to do with it. Again, Materials Exchange is the B2B e-commerce lumber and materials panel and OSB website where you can match and ship, buy and sell lumber and OSB across North America. Matt, maybe you want to introduce a little bit about yourself.
What I'm bringing to the table here is some current market information on strategies on how to buy or sell the product that you have in mind. There's some items that are particularly tough to get right now, like OSB. So we're going to hopefully have some people who come to the platform tomorrow with some live orders, and we'll be able to execute this for you. And I'll be available for question and answer about market timing and that kind of thing.
Sounds great, Matt. And I think one of the things we wanted to talk about in this that you prepared a few slides for that I'll bring up, or unless you want to, the 3 slides that kind of show the preparation versus demand cycles that you really, they're pretty cool when you look at them. If you could bring them up, you want to try it? Otherwise, I've got them. Yeah, perfect. So maybe you could explain a little bit to people who are scratching their head going, well, Matt, what do you think? I mean, are people loading the boat here? What are they doing? What's your thought on stuff? Do people build up? You always talk about topping off some things and so forth. Maybe this helps explain it a little bit.
Yeah, this chart that we start with tomorrow is going to show the difference between the preparation cycle, which is the upper half of the chart, versus the demand cycle, which you can see lags, it trails. The upper half of the chart basically shows how the industry prepares for home builders and do-it-yourselfers and retailers outtake of lumber in the cycle that it follows. So you can see they're not identical, not the same. So what we're going to see tomorrow is in this meeting is where we are in that cycle right now. That's right in this big, large black arrow, which is the month of April, which is going to show that with the market's in a rising trend. We've got about 2 more weeks left in that pattern. And then the market reverses and starts to work lower. So that's going to be a pretty controversial thing, considering all the things that are going on in the lumber market right now. But that's just something to be prepared for. And the other cycle shows the forecasted decision points, which is this black trend line, which is a proprietary formula that I've created for myself that I don't get out the secret juice to. But that's a forecast of when the prices should rise and fall. So we see at week number 10, we saw a place where the market should fall. Actually, it got a little weak, but it didn't really collapse. In April, it shows that it should be a little bit weaker, but also April is a month where the market typically rises when dealers and treaters, truss manufacturers, distributors are building up inventory for spring as they sell it at larger volumes in April and May. So I'm expecting prices to rise into week 18. So that'd be about another 3-4 week run before we get into a weaker cycle. So as you can see, looking forward, there's some divergence between what the trends typically do and what the market's forecasted to do. So we'll get into that later as we go along. But right now, we're going to be talking about how to handle the market just in the month of April.
So just a quick question for you, Matt. If I'm basically treat me like I'm a golden retriever here. If I look at the black line on the bottom, that's the historical average. And if I look down, what type of time frame is that historical average that you track there?
That is a combination of a 10-year moving average, a 5-year moving average, and a 3-year weighted average. It's all 3 of those together. And just historically, just from testing, it's most likely projects what's going to happen in the future. And that's really just based on human behavior, how the market responds or how the buyers and sellers respond to the seasonality of the market.
Okay, right on. So obviously that's then the blue line tracks the actual. You mentioned a couple different things. So like treaters, Southern Pine seems like we have a little bite on that, and I would be guessing that most of these treaters, and I when I read social media and I see a lot of them talking, they've already built pretty good size inventories. Mike and I were on the way in this morning into Chicago. We saw a load of treated coming into the city. Looked like it was going to Depot or Lowe's. I'm guessing, and I could be wrong. What you have a pretty good handle on Southern Pine. Are these treaters fully got stocked up pretty good now, or what's your
They're
thought?
very well stocked compared to what they don't want to repeat what happened last year when they were just completely ran out. The difference between this year and last year was we were in March, this big down move that happened in March and extended into April was because of COVID's, everybody's liquidation of inventory, including producers' cessation of production. So we started the spring, April and May robust time of the year. That's typically the best time of the year for outtake with no inventory in the field. And this year, the home centers particularly have built inventory ahead of time, and treaters were required to build inventory to have that extra inventory for them. So Southern Yellow Pine is probably the weakest link in the chain going forward. If we see a down move in that you can see here on the green chart, the green line rear, in April. If there is a down move, that's probably going to be created because of a drafting or a pull from Southern Yellow Pine, where spruce, hem fir, green Doug fir, and dry hem fir will probably be flat to up. So we may just see a little kind of a sideways move through here, but I don't advocate building or liquidating inventory right now. It's time just to have a minimum amount of what you need to keep everybody flush, but not get overexposed at these high prices.
Okay. All right, cool, Matt. We're gonna stop the streaming here real quick. I think that was that's a good just kickoff to walk through. How much